Hey everybody, happy day today. So I don't know if you've been with me all day today. I've been actually popping on live all day today on my TikTok, um, and just going, dealing with things that, life right now, and things that, just dealing with as a family member, in our community as what our community is today. And so, if you've been watching me all day, I've been dealing with some serious issues with my brother in the facility that he's in. So, I'm rather exhausted. If you've been with me on TikTok, you know that we started today at 8 o'clock this morning at physical therapy. From physical therapy, we went to the courthouse. We had to handle a court situation this morning that took a few hours. Right after that, I was heading home and I got a phone call from my nephew, with issues with my brother and what's been going on with my brother in this nursing facility that he was in. And if you've been paying attention, you know that I went in there with peace, and this man done jumped in my face, very unprofessional. And like I told him, you have no idea who I am. You just thinking I'm just a nobody, right? Because of the situation and because of where, my brother's situation. But little do you know, sir, that I actually had been a compliance auditor for CMS for over 20 years. Little do you know, sir, not only that, but for the last 3 years, I've literally run facilities as the director of a facility, building manager of a facility. So y'all really don't know who you talking to, and you're talking to me as if I don't know anything or as if I'm not skilled in this. But little do you know, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Just because I'm not coming in a three-piece suit, you know. Sometimes they think they can just talk to us any old kind of way, don't they? When they don't understand. Oh, I'm sorry, Facebook. Y'all probably getting dizzy because you're on my leg right now. I'm going up and down. I'm actually in the bed again. Um, I'm just tired, y'all. I'm trying to save my strength and reserve my strength, but today has been a day. But beyond all that, I want to talk to y'all about keeping Black survivors alive. So, if you don't know, that is actually the contract that brought me back to my hometown, through the Massachusetts Women of Color Network. And my job was to go around and interview leaders that work in the domestic violence and sexual assault field, in the African American community. So, from all over, um, Massachusetts, starting from Boston all the way down to Lowell, I was interviewing the women that are in this cohort who are leaders in this cohort. So, coming from places like the YWCA, Live Life Now Foundation, um, Transgender Fund is a part of it. There's a few, there's like six different organizations. I probably shouldn't have tried to start naming them. Brookview House is another. So, it's a bunch of organizations that have come together to work together to pull the resources and to be a resource for women of color that are going through trauma, domestic violence. And so, what they did is they interviewed, for the first part of this, they interviewed survivors and they got their feedback. And then we did the leadership. And as you know, without beating a dead horse, 8 days before my presentation, I was shot by a woman and her child, through their own domestic dispute, through their own dysfunction, in the family. I end up in the crossfires of that, and it's very sad. It's not fair, but it's what happened. And there's nothing I can do to change that. So, there's just nothing I can do to change that. So there's no sense in, complaining about it or crying about it. What happened happened. It's unfortunate. It is very unfortunate because of the person. and the type of person this person is for me to have lost everything for a person like that. And it's just, anyways, needless to say, let's get back to keeping Black survivors alive. Well, myself and the other consultant that was hired, we have completed our task. And September 11th, we are going to have our presentation for people that are in the field. And then September 13th, it is open for anybody in the general public that would like to come and listen to our findings. So, what are some of the things that we found? We definitely know we have too much policing going on. We have not enough support or financial funds for programs that are from people of color, by people of color. And let me get really specific with that, because this BIPOC title doesn't necessarily mean that it's being run by somebody who's African American, right? So I see that they get away with using BIPOC and getting money in a lot of organizations, but they don't really have any African American people there at the helm, you know? And so, yeah, we need to be more funded, programs for us, ran by us, because this is one of the major disconnects that we have when it comes to healing in our community. We are spread out as a people, and everybody has the opportunity to come in and tell us exactly what's wrong with us, give us their forms, formulas, medicines, all this stuff. And, it's kind of funny to me because right now you see so many people who are not people of color pumping holistic medicine, pumping, healing modalities and things that are not normally from a Western culture. But yet, when it comes and they do it, it's always okay. But when a person of color does it, is something wrong with it. So we have to look at that. And then why is it that it's always everybody else in our community coming to teach us? How come where are our own elders? Where are our people in our community? Like, when do we take the reins back and say, you know what, thank you, but we got this? When do we take the reins back, community, and say, thank you so much, but we got this? We can take care of it. We have all of the physicians that we need. We have all the attorneys that we need. We have all the teachers that we need. We have everybody that we need. The only thing that we don't understand is that we need each other. And how does that actually work? And how do we actually come together? When does the healing actually truly start? The healing that actually is going to bring results, the healing that's actually going to break the chains. And I say to us as a people, from a woman who has been through excruciating trauma throughout her whole entire life, from a child to adulthood to just being shot, right? Like, when are we going to get it that we have it and we don't have to ask for permission and we can come together? So, just like the Women of Color Network, these women have come together. These CEOs have figured it out. No, they don't do exactly the same exact thing, but yes, they're in the same field, they're in the same genre. And even the fact that, pay attention, they're in the same field, but yet they're still working together. And because of that collaboration, it makes it a lot easier for them to assess funding. Does it make it easy? Makes it easier. And when you learn about effective collaboration, and all these things that I'm talking about are things that I actually teach and have taught for years, not just to young women who were out on the streets hurting, to CEOs, business people, So um, I definitely have background for things that I'm talking about. I just don't come on here just to be running my mouth. And so, anyways, keeping Black survivors alive, our first, again, presentation of our findings for the state of Massachusetts will be September 11th. That is for people that work in the field only, but the general public can come in on the September 13th and see our presentation and our findings. After that, we do have a toolkit that will be coming out, and I will share with you more about that and how you could get involved, and get your uh, facilities involved. Your doctors, your pastors, your schools, like your police department. Like, instead of complaining about stuff and always complaining about things, when things like this come, and people from our community are building and creating these things, to get behind us, to get behind us. Okay, so in a couple of weeks we have that coming. By the end of this month, no, by the end of this week, my goal is to launch my website, so y'all can see, exactly what it is. This is what I've come to. This is where it's going to be, and this is where it's going to be. This is what I'm offering. This is the price for what I'm offering, and this is what I'm doing for 2025. Okay, so I have one program coming, starting November the 1st. That is my 90-day accountability program. My 90-day accountability journal is a journal, but it's a journal that comes with um, bi-weekly check-ins. It comes with questions that it asks you to provoke you, to prepare you to get something done within 90 days. This journal has been used. Every program project that I've done has been tested, by women in the community, by me coming on here, at Facebook and things of that nature, and reaching out to young women and saying, hey, would you like to be a part of this? Hey, would you like to be a part of this? I'm getting ready to do something. Would you like to be a part of it? And so some of the young ladies have come together. So we have written a book. It's called So You Think You're Grown. I hate it when adults said that. In that book, it's a very small book, but it's very powerful. These young ladies come from all across the different parts of the United States, and one young lady from Nigeria. We actually did this project back in 2020, but I want to relaunch it, and I want people to see what the girls had to say. We actually came back and added a piece to it, so it now has a workbook that goes with it. So as of November 1st, I'm doing open enrollment right now for No More False Starts, and that will take us up to the Western New Year. And so for those who, want to get ready for New Year's, I say that because I don't celebrate New Year's in January. So I celebrate New Year's in the spring when everything comes to life. But that's neither here nor there, because I don't force what I believe on anybody. I'm very steadfast in what I believe. I'm very secure in who I am spiritually, and I'm okay with that. I don't have time to argue. I don't have time to try to convince people or try to tell people what they're doing is wrong. That's really none of my business, um, unless you're out there causing real harm. And that's the difference where we need to really get a grip on each other, and all this you the devil and you evil and all this stuff that we say to each other that is so hurtful, that is so hurtful. And I've said it before, that if this is where you find, wherever you land, if that's where you find that that's what's helping you grow, and you have proof by the evidence of the change in the way that you speak, the way that you conduct yourself, the way that you treat people, you know when somebody has run into true love compared to somebody who's still operating in the matrix of the pseudo love. Because within this world system, which we're not supposed to be a part of, we're supposed to be here but not be involved in the world system. What they call love is absolutely fake. It's absolutely not. But are talking about when so many people are talking about love, and they're saying this is love, and they're labeling all this nonsense, well, if you've never sat with true love, you've never been introduced to true love, you are beguiled into believing that what you're involved in is love. And that's the matrix. The matrix makes everything that's not right look right, and everything that's right, it makes it look wrong. So again, I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long day. I'm just throwing topics out. I'm sorry. I'm not scripted. Maybe one day I will come on and be scripted, but right now I'm not. I'm just throwing topics out that have to deal with healing, that have to deal with our community healing, and some of the solutions that I'm bringing to the table. Okay, so as of January 6th, I'm opening up completely. So the online school, for the first time ever, all of my programs are going public. All this time, in order to come in and take one of my programs, you couldn't go online and just buy it. You had to come in and be a part of the community to go through any of my trainings. And right now, I'm at the point of getting ready to pass the baton with the mentoring portion of what I do. So by the end of next year, I want to train 100 women on mentoring the way that I mentor in teaching them nonprofit development, workforce development, and the things that they need so that they can come on in and start running and be equipped to run this part of the organization so that they can go back and mentor as well as become entrepreneurs and leaders and just healthy rounded women of color, because really the stuff that we're shown is just it's ridiculous. The stuff that we're shown, all the projections, sorry if y'all hear all that going on out there, the windows open, sorry about that. But all of these things that are just actually hurting our community and are hyping it and helping with the statistics of domestic violence and sexual assault in our community. It's all a circle. It's all a circle. From the music to the entertainment to it coming out of the TV and out of the radio into your home. The drama is coming into your home because now our youth are looking at these examples, these poor examples that should never ever be, role models. They are entertainers. Whoever said that Puffy was supposed to be a role model? Whoever said that, Jay-Z and all, like whoever said that these people were actually role models for our children? It was the entertainment. Hi, sis. It was the entertainment company that said that these people were models, and we just okay. When did Kanye become the spokesperson for Black America? It's like it's crazy that we fall for anything. We fall for anything, and then we wonder why we walking around hurt, busted, and disgusted, and why our children are walking around hurt, busted, and disgusted, killing each other. They unalive each other out here. They unalive us out here. Something has got to give, and we cannot continue to keep doing the same things that we've been doing. So when you see people like me, when you hear about organizations and like Massachusetts Women of Color Network and projects that keeping Black survivors alive, and the work that we're out here doing to actually come up against the systematic racism, to come up against and say, guess what? We don't need the police coming over here when somebody's having a manic situation, because we don't need another Sonia Massey. How many more are we going to take? We have to get back into our community. We have to get back into our community. The elders must get back into our community. And what we need back in our community is not the Black person that doesn't understand anything about truly being a Black person. We don't need no more people that are whitewashed trying to come in and lead our community. I would like to see a real sister, a real brother that has been down for something for real, for real. I mean, I know that they got their backgrounds. Yes, Obama had his background and Kamala has her background, but damn it, you know what I'm talking about. I want to see a Malcolm X rise up. You heard me? I want to see somebody rise up, a Pan-African, that somebody who has gone back and understands who we are, our DNA, and understands that we are our own governmental structure. We don't need their help no more. We don't need to keep asking permission. And meanwhile, they walking over us, they stepping over us. In every election, they want to dangle something in our face. And still yet we got really no results. And so keeping Black survivors alive, keeping us alive in more ways than one. Our community absolutely must heal. Our community absolutely must come together. Those that have a spiritual mindset, those that have done the time to take the work and are grounded and rooted in who you are, so you're not worried about somebody else and what they're doing, and scared of what they're doing, or thinking what they're doing is going to jump on you or conjure something on. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop operating in fear. And stop operating in divisiveness. Do you know every single thing about the United States is all division? I wrote this the other day. Think about it. Every single topic in America is division. Big division. They're divided in politics. We're fighting right now. You're divided when it comes to spirituality. You fight all the time over that, over who's wrong, who's right. We fight over, in the music industry, they beefing, right? On TV, you see what? Black people, what? They beefing. All these reality shows. Everybody, where's the love? Where are the people that are functioning, that are healing, that are growing, and that are evolving? Like, where's that show? Where's that show? So that was a lot, unscripted, just off the top of my head. Things that I was been, today. Today has been a day. And we fight for our families. And we fight for our families that have fallen victim to the trap of the American dream and the mindset. We pray for our families, the nation, us as a whole. Because the majority, I've said it once, I'll say it again, the soul is sick. The soul is sick. And we need healing. And so when all this is said and done, I'm still calling for a week of peace. August 3rd through the 9th, 2025, that date was solidified on purpose because August 5th is in there. And we need to celebrate that because that's the only time that I can recall in my 56 years that we actually came together and did something in the longest time, that we actually stood up for one another and didn't care. And I will still say, when you look back, it wasn't even the people that were on the deck. The people that were right there on the deck that could have ran down and helped, they had their video cameras out because they of the mindset, right? They in the matrix. Get the phone out, because that's what we do. We don't help each other. We get the phone out. But when them brothers and sisters got off the boat, it was a new day. And I will continue to say this. That morning, there was a group of righteous women that went down to that river. And they blessed that river. And they blessed the ancestors that morning. And I still say, because they were on the river, they were in the ocean, and they weren't on the land, that whatever them sisters did in that water that morning, the ancestors was ready. Because that's the answer from our ancestors. They weren't docile, y'all. Why do you think they were cutting off their limbs? They weren't sitting around just trying to be slaves. For the most part, many of them lost their lives because they fought back until they finally got us to the point where we were, they were doing so much to us, so much. I mean, tying people alive to horses and tearing them apart, it just boiling people in, and just, where it got to the point where no, we're not going to deal with that. We will just deal with this and become subservient. But it wasn't like that in the beginning. Trust. And so we need to get back to having that strength that our ancestors had to say this is not right. And we're not going to sit up here and just let y'all do what you want to do. So, but what does it all start? It all starts with us healing. It all starts with us coming together in healing and saying it's okay. It's okay that that's where you get your strength. Because I see that even though I might not agree with you, hold on, I've got to turn this fan on. Okay. Woo, that's too high. Okay. So to say, even though I don't agree with you, I see your character. Even though I might not get my strength where you get your strength, but I see your character, sister. I see your character, brother. I see that you are taking care of home. I see that you ain't out here causing nobody harm. I see that you're a good husband, you're a good wife. I see that you're a good parent. I see that you doing and you living righteous. You're not out here hurting nobody. You ain't out here doing evil to nobody. So you know what, sis? You know what, brother? It's all right. I don't have to subscribe to what you. I'm in a whole nother tribe. That's all that is. But to have to come and throw rocks and to bring hurt and to bring harm to the only place that we actually have, that is actually that place of solitude, that is actually that place of refuge, that place where you go to get your strength. And then to come online and say something and have 15, 11 people jump on talking about you evil, you this, what? Back up. Do y'all even know what the hell evil is? Do y'all really understand the definition of somebody being evil? And if you really believe that's what your brothers and sisters are doing just because they worship Muhammad or Yahshua or Yahweh or Ben Yahweh or, you know, whoever else is out there that is being worshipped right now. So, healing. Stand in who you are. Stand in who you are. Absolutely. But let me see your light shine. Put your damn sword away. Why is you drawing your sword so hard and so fast on somebody else who's living righteous under their own spirituality? Meanwhile, we got the government poisoning us, literally poisoning our food, poisoning the mind of our children. They've taken us out of our culture. They then moved the grandparents out the house. They took Big Mama out before they took Daddy out. Okay, they took Big Mama out, start putting her in the home like the white people. Then they took Daddy out, and now that forces Mama to either work or stay on welfare. Right? If you stay on welfare, you gotta stay underneath, and you can't really rise up to your full potential ever. And people don't see that as a trick and a trap, but it is. You can never get to the full potential that God created you to be because you're so busy trying to get something for free. Okay? So, let's talk about that. And so then the other ones like myself that said, I'm not going to stay on welfare. I'm going to use this, go to school and get a career. And so then what did that do? Hold on, now I'm cold. Girl, the hot fan, these flashes. And so what did that do? That now takes mama out the house. Mama's supposed to be the teacher. So now big mama's gone, daddy's gone, and mama's gone. So now where's our children? Our children are with the ops. Our children are spending 8 hours a day with the ops, where they're not learning anything about themselves, no real history, and they're being brainwashed from the time they come out the womb to the tomb into this fake, into the fakest dream, into the fakest, bogus dream that only a few have been able to graduate to. And those few that graduated to have done absolutely everything in their power to keep their money in their family and to live like master. It just blows my mind. I think I seen another African, somebody from Africa the other day, another star, took their money, went home, built the whole community, put lights up. It's such a different mindset than these people that come over here, get their money again from the black community. Because if we don't put our stamp on them, they're not going nowhere. White man would have tossed their tails right on back if we didn't put our stamp of approval on them. But what do we get in return? They might give to charity, yes, but understand the difference between somebody coming, making that money and going back to their country and saying, I've got enough, well, I ain't got to ask permission. We're going to handle this right here, right now. Here's my bread. Could you imagine if that was the mindset of these folks over here in America? We would have been rebuilt Black Wall Street. We would have been had our own government. Had they been somebody like me, a mindset like me, we would have got in, got all that money, all them checks. And trust and believe we would have been building. We would have been building strategically in the background so that everybody could come up. We have a sickness. We have a sickness in our souls. Because people of color, you are it. You are it, whether you know it or not. And this is what they don't want us to understand, is how great we really are. And I was thinking about something yesterday when I was playing my music. And I thought about how I seen something and some guy was singing to R. Kelly, and I was like, oh man, that was the jam. I forgot all about that, because we done boycotted R. Kelly years ago, right? But then I heard somebody say, why? We still stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I thought to myself, ain't that right? Selective. We are selective, and we do whatever they lead us to do, not thinking that it's our people. It's not. It's somebody behind all of them that don't look nothing like us, running the real show and running our community into the ground. And that's why we have to have programs like Keeping Black Survivors Alive. This is why now we have to come back into the community and say, hey, listen, you need to fund Black-owned, Black-run programs that are for real Black people running programs that are going to teach our children something outside of the garbage that you've been teaching us all these years. To understand that, yes, meditation in herbs, in herbal, that all comes from your ancestors, your background. Agriculture, being able to stop allowing them to poison you. then you go back to who you are. When we start to go back, Sankofa, look back. Take the things that are good, put it with the technology and the understanding that we have today, and let's get free already. Let's get free already. So, all right, y'all. That's about it for me for today. I'm resting. I've been on this thing all day, and now I'm getting ready to rest. And thank you for being with me. Whether you watch this now, you watched it later. The last thing I'm going to say, please go to my TikTok. If you are not on my TikTok, Arike Ifa Benjo, and please like, subscribe, and watch a video for at least 10 seconds so that we can help one another monetize. I follow back those that follow me. I also make sure that I help you rank by not just following you, but I also like, and I will also comment, and I will watch the video for at least 10 seconds. My goal is to get me to the first milestone of 5K before the end of this year. I would love your help. Okay, y'all. You know what I always say: choose love, be good to one another. And we don't need permission to heal. We just need to learn how to respect one another's differences and know that it's okay. I love you from my heart to yours. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you on Thursday at 6 o'clock.